And also in those same 10 commandments that y'all refuse to read.
You are 100% correct. The Christians hate the 10 commandments. And it's absolutely insane. It's completely hypocritical. They are 100% the biggest sinners in the world. Yep, totally agree. However, the Bible is true. And the Bible actually warns against being a Christian. It tells you to come out of the churches. So just a quick peek through your profile. It doesn't seem like you're a Christian, or that you believe or follow the God of the Bible at all. So I'm going to just tell you what the Bible actually says, like what the truth is about the Bible, and give you the gospel so that you have a heads up of what's coming. Because just because the Christians interpret it incorrectly doesn't make it wrong. But I can completely understand why you don't follow it, like why you wouldn't be a Christian, because they completely butchered what it says. So number one, they don't even have the name correct. The name of the Father is Jehovah. The name of the Son is Yeshua. You can see the Father's name in Psalm 68, or Psalm 83:18, which is why I use the name that I use. Psalm 68:4 says Yah. 68:4. Yah, Jehovah. If you look in the Strong's Concordance, everywhere that it says Lord or God in all capitals, it says Jehovah. That's his name. He sent his son, Yeshua, which is the Hebrew word for salvation, to teach us how to keep the 10 commandments. That's the gospel. And the whole Christian church missed it. To love God with all your heart, soul, and mind means to keep the 10 commandments. To fear God means to keep the 10 commandments. To obey God's voice means to keep the 10 commandments. To love your neighbor as yourself means to teach them to keep the 10 commandments. God just didn't want us to be assholes to each other. He also said, don't have other gods before me. I am one. He's not 3 in 1. The Trinity's bullshit. God didn't come here in the flesh either. He sent his son, not himself. The reason that he died on the cross actually was a stake. It's not even a cross. There's literally nothing that the Christian church has right. Literally nothing. He died on a stake. And the reason that he did that was because it's written into the law, the marriage laws, that the wife cannot remarry unless the husband dies. So God calls himself the husband of his people, Israel. So he would have to die in order for his people to be able to be reconciled back to him, because they were worshiping other demigods, like pagan gods that the other nations around them had started worshiping, that they had created. And so Israel started worshiping like the heathens around them. Heathens, Gentiles, and nations, it's all the same Hebrew word. They were worshiping like them, so God gave them a divorce letter in Jeremiah 3. And so the people would be stuck without God forever, and so he would have to die in order for them to be remarried. That God's not going to break his own law. And so he sent his son in his authority. God put his words in the prophet's mouth, so that when he died, he died in place of God, so that he could redeem his people back to him. It's that simple. And so it says that we're redeemed by the Messiah's death, but we are saved by his life. So if you believe that the Messiah came, taught the 10 Commandments, died and rose again, according to scripture, which means 3 days and 3 nights in the grave, not a day and a half, Wednesday to Saturday, Sabbath day. He's the Lord of the Sabbath. If you believe that, and you walk the way he walked, which was to keep the 10 commandments and teach others to do so, then you become God's people. You graft into Israel, which is Romans 11 and Ephesians 2. The Christian church butchered it entirely. They do pagan child sacrifice. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on here. Fertility rituals every winter solstice and spring equinox. That's what Christmas and Easter are. That's what got them divorced in the first place. And they still do it. They can't stop themselves. So, because the Christian church is so apostate, which means they've fallen away from the truth, because they have so egregiously defied Jehovah and deceived the whole world into even the name, even other religions know the name Jebus. It's not his name. Jesus, Horus, Krishna. It's 3 different pagan demigods that they smushed into one name and then just stuck the name in the Bible. That's why, like, my grandmother, she would always walk around, and whenever she was cursing, she'd go, Jesus H. Christ. She's calling on Satan. For fuck's sake. So because the church has done this, what happens now, pretty soon, is that God's going to send the tribulation. He's going to send what's called the Great Tribulation, which is a time where he chastises the Christian church into obedience, is the hope, right? And so he's going to punish the people who lied. Woe to the pastors who have scattered and destroyed the sheep of my pasture. Those pastors are in so much trouble. I feel bad, actually, for them. What's coming to them and their families. It's not good. There's going to be, it says that Satan is going to be cast out of heaven with a third of the angels, fallen angels. Sorry. If you look in Genesis, what the fallen angels did back then, there's no new thing under the sun, and it's going to be the same thing in the tribulation. There's going to be terror. If you're interested, you can read the prophets, read Isaiah. It talks a lot about it. Read Lamentations and Jeremiah and Micah. It's horrifying, really, what's going to happen. What's going to come upon the earth. It says men's hearts will fail them for the fear of things that are coming upon the earth. They're going to wish for death. So there's like, some men are just going to drop dead of these heart attacks. And I don't just mean men, women too. They're going to just drop for the fear of what's happening. And then some are going to wish for death, but death will not come. They're going to have to be punished more for the lies that they've told. And then for the people who never get to hear this, there's going to be a second Exodus, where God's going to gather up all the people who never got to hear the fame of him, and he's going to bring them back to the promised land, and they're going to be taught the true doctrine, and they're going to be given a chance to say, okay, I'm going to obey or not. So when this happens, which is very soon, a year or 2 out from this, and that's in the prophecies, when this happens, just start keeping the 10 commandments, call on the right names, Jehovah and Yeshua. The 10 commandments are in Ezekiel 20 and Deuteronomy 5. I'm sorry, I don't have time to go through them right now. I do have other videos about that, though. where I go through them and I break them down. So if you have questions, then let me know, and may the grace of God be with you.